Mavis the diesel engine. Mavis was a diesel engine who worked at the quarry. She shunted freight trucks for other engines to pick up. Mavis was a young engine, and she liked to get her own way. She thought she knew better than everyone else. Every day, Mavis would put Toby's trucks in a different place, so he had to search for them. "Trucks should be where I can find them," said Toby crossly. "Nonsense," said Mavis. "I can't waste time arguing," said Toby. "If you know so much, then take the trucks yourself." Mavis was very pleased. Taking trucks on Toby's branch line made her feel important. So, the next day, Mavis set off along the branch line with Toby's cars. But the cars didn't like Bossy Mavis. "It's Frosty today, let's play a trick on her," they whispered. Mavis travelled happily along Toby's line. Ahead of her was a railway crossing, so she stopped carefully. "I'm so good at this, I don't need silly old Toby," she laughed. But she didn't know what the trucks were planning. When it was time to move again, the trucks whispered to each other, "Hold back, hold back." Mavis tried to set off, but her wheels just spun. She couldn't get a grip on the frosty ground. The troublesome trucks giggled and giggled. The drivers of the cars and lorries waiting at the railway crossing were getting very angry. But there was nothing Mavis could do. Then Mavis saw Toby approaching in the distance. He had come to help. "Having trouble, Mavis?" he smiled. Mavis felt cross and silly. She had boasted to Toby that she knew best, and now she was stuck and Toby had to rescue her. Toby was coupled to Mavis. He puffed and slipped, and at last he got Mavis and the trucks moving. Mavis hardly helped at all. She didn't even say thank you. When Mavis got back to the quarry, the fat controller was very annoyed with her. "You are a naughty engine," he said. "You will stay here from now on." Mavis felt angry. She thought the quarry was boring. She wished she could go on Toby's branch line again. Soon spring arrived on Sodor. It was a very busy time at the quarry. Every day Mavis got the trucks ready for Toby, but she was never allowed to take them along Toby's branch line. Then one day, Mavis had an idea. She said to the trucks, "When we get to the beginning of Toby's line, will you please bump me? Then I'll be on his line whether he likes it or not." "Oh, yes, yes, yes," giggled the freight trucks. "I'll show that fuss budget, Toby," said Mavis to herself. But when the time came, Mavis was busy somewhere else, so Toby shunted the trucks himself. "Never mind," the trucks whispered to each other. "Let's bump Toby instead." So they gave Toby a big bump. He rushed onto his branch line much too fast. His driver and fireman were knocked over. Toby was out of control. Toby couldn't stop. He rushed over the railway crossing. Luckily, there weren't any trucks there. Up ahead, there was an old bridge. The river had flooded, and part of the bridge had been washed away. If Toby didn't stop before he reached it, he might fall in the river. As Toby approached the bridge, the rails stretched across the gap, just like a tightrope. His driver braked hard, but Toby slid along the track. His brakes squealed. He used every bit of his strength and stopped just in time. Mavis felt terrible. It was all her fault. So she rushed to the rescue. First, she pulled the trucks back up the track. Then, she helped pull Toby carefully away from the bridge. "I'm sorry, Toby," she said. "It's all my fault." "Never mind, Mavis," said Toby kindly. "Thank you for rescuing me." After that day, Mavis and Toby became good friends. Mavis still bossed the trucks around at the quarry, but she always listened to Toby's advice. And sometimes, as a special treat, Toby would let Mavis take the freight trucks carefully along his branch line.